Welcome to this incredible story from the world of darts. Today we dive into the tale of a simple woman who walked into a tournament, unaware of the storm she was about to unleash. The crowd buzzed with excitement, but her presence drew smirks and whispers. She seemed out of place, dressed modestly, carrying an unassuming demeanor. The tournament hall was alive with the sharp clack of darts hitting boards. Competitors, seasoned and confident, eyed her with amusement. Her name was barely a murmur among the chatter. Nobody expected much, yet she stood tall, gripping her dart with a quiet resolve that went unnoticed by the mocking crowd. As she stepped up to the Osha, the line from which players throw, laughter rippled through the audience. "She won't last a round," someone jeered. Others nodded, exchanging bets on how quickly she'd falter. Her opponent, a burly man with a trophy-laden record, grinned smugly, ready to dominate. The announcer's voice boomed, introducing her, with little fanfare. The crowd's anticipation was laced with derision. She took a deep breath, her eyes fixed on the dartboard. The room fell into a hush, waiting for the inevitable miss. Little did they know, this moment would redefine her story. With a steady hand, she raised the dart. The mocking whispers grew louder, but her focus remained unshaken. The first shot was moments away, and the tension in the air was palpable. The crowd leaned in, some with smirks, others with pity, all underestimating her completely. Her arm moved with surprising grace. The dart flew, cutting through the air with precision. The room gasped as it struck bullseye. A perfect score of 50 lit up the board. The silence was deafening, broken only by the stunned murmurs of the audience. The burly opponent's smirk faded. He blinked, unsure if he'd seen correctly. The scoreboard confirmed it, a single dart, a perfect shot. The crowd's laughter turned to shock, their bets suddenly in jeopardy. She stood still, her expression calm, as if she'd expected this all along. Whispers turned to cheers as realization dawned. "Who is she?" someone shouted. The announcer fumbled, checking her name again. The simple woman had just silenced the room with one throw. Her quiet confidence began to ripple through the spectators. The next player hesitated, unnerved by her sudden prowess. She prepared for her second throw, the dart feeling like an extension of her will. The crowd watched, now with a mix of awe and curiosity. The mockery had vanished, replaced by a growing respect. Another dart soared, landing with a thud, another bullseye. The score climbed to 100. Gasps filled the hall. The opponent's confidence crumbled as he realized he faced a formidable challenger. The woman's focus was unbreakable, her every move deliberate. The audience erupted, some clapping, others still processing the turn of events. She glanced at the crowd, her eyes steady, acknowledging their shift in attitude. The jeers were gone, replaced by a tentative applause. Her story was becoming legendary. Her opponent stepped up, rattled. His throw wobbled, missing the mark. The pressure was on, but she remained composed. The dartboard seemed to call to her, and she answered with a third perfect shot. The crowd roared. 150 points in 3 throws, the announcer's voice trembled, with excitement as he declared her score. "Unbelievable," he shouted. The simple woman had turned the tournament upside down. Her opponent wiped sweat from his brow, knowing he'd underestimated her at his peril. Cameras flashed, capturing her serene face against the chaotic backdrop. The crowd's energy shifted from mockery to admiration. She was no longer the underdog. They saw a champion emerging. Her next throw would cement her place in their minds. With a fourth dart, she aimed again. The hall held its breath. The dart flew true, striking the bullseye once more. The score hit 200, an unprecedented start. The opponent slumped, his earlier bravado a distant memory. The crowd stood, cheering wildly. She nodded slightly, accepting their praise. The simple woman had become the tournament's dark horse. Her story spread like wildfire, whispered from row to row. The mockery was a thing of the past. The announcer called for a break, giving the audience time to absorb the shock. She stepped back, sipping water, her expression unchanged. The opponent conferred with his coach, plotting a comeback, but the momentum was hers. As the break ended, the tension returned. Her opponent threw first, landing a decent score, but nothing compared to hers. The crowd's eyes were on her, waiting for the next miracle. She stepped up, dart in hand, ready to continue her streak. The fifth throw came, and with it, another bullseye. The score reached 250. The hall erupted in applause, some standing in ovation. The simple woman's quiet strength had won them over. Her opponent shook his head, defeated. Analysts in the crowd scribbled notes, stunned by her consistency. She wasn't just lucky, she was skilled. The mockery had been replaced by awe. Her next throw would determine if this was a fluke or a revolution. With a sixth dart, she aimed with the same precision. The dart hit the bullseye again. 300 points. The crowd lost control, cheering and shouting her name. She was no longer simple. She was extraordinary. The opponent conceded, shaking her hand with respect. The announcer declared her the new leader, her score unmatched. The hall buzzed with excitement, eager to see how far she could go. Her journey had just begun. She smiled, faintly a rare break in her composure. The crowd chanted, lifting her spirit. The simple woman had silenced her critics with skill and grace. Her story would be told for years. The next round approached, and a new challenger emerged. Confident and cocky, he sneered at her success. But she stood ready, her focus unwavering. The crowd watched, anticipating another stunning performance. First throw in the new round hit the bullseye, 350 points total. The challenger's sneer faltered. The audience roared, fully invested in her tale. She was rewriting the rules of the game. The challenger threw, landing a respectable score but falling short. She prepared her second shot, the dartboard her canvas. Another bullseye, 400 points. The hall shook with applause. The challenger's confidence waned as she dominated. Her third throw in the round struck true, 450 points. The crowd's energy was electric, their earlier mockery forgotten. She was a force to be reckoned with. The announcer marveled at her skill, calling it a historic moment. The simple woman had become the tournament's star. Her opponent struggled, his throws erratic under her shadow. With a fourth throw, she added another bullseye, 500 points. The challenger dropped his dart, admitting defeat. The crowd surged to its feet, chanting, "Her name." She had turned the tide. The tournament officials huddled, discussing her unprecedented score. She stood calmly, waiting for the next challenge. The crowd's support was unwavering, their faith in her growing. A new opponent stepped up, determined to dethrone her. But her first throw in this match hit the bullseye, 550 points. The hall erupted, the challenger paling in comparison. Her second throw followed suit, 600 points. The new opponent faltered, his throws missing the mark. The simple woman's skill was undeniable, her story inspiring. The third throw added another. Bullseye, 650 points. The crowd's cheers were deafening. The opponent conceded, shaking her hand. She was on a path to victory. The announcer declared her the frontrunner, her score a record. The simple woman nodded, accepting the praise. The hall was hers, the mockery a distant memory. As the tournament progressed, she faced tougher opponents. Her first throw against the next hit the bullseye, 700 points. The crowd's faith was unshakable. Her second throw continued her streak, 750 points. The opponent struggled, unable to match her. The simple woman's quiet strength shone through. The third throw sealed it, 800 points. The opponent withdrew, overwhelmed. The crowd roared, celebrating her dominance. The final round loomed and she faced the champion. Her first throw hit the bullseye, 850 points. The hall held its breath. Her second throw added another, 900 points. The champion faltered, his throws weak. The simple woman was unstoppable. The final throw came, and with a bullseye, 950 points, she won. The crowd exploded, lifting her as the champion. Her story, from mockery to glory, was complete. The champion, now dethroned, offered a gracious handshake, his respect earned through her relentless precision. The simple woman accepted it with a modest nod, her eyes reflecting the journey from ridicule to reverence. The crowd's cheers echoed, a testament to her triumph. The hall, once filled with doubt, now buzzed with admiration for her skill. The announcer's voice trembled with pride as he crowned her the tournament winner, her score of 950 points etched into history. Cameras flashed, capturing her serene smile amidst the chaos. The simple woman once mocked stood tall as a symbol of resilience. Her story inspired whispers of a new era in darts. As the celebration continued, officials approached, offering her a spot in the professional circuit. She listened quietly, her mind processing the sudden shift in her life. The crowd chanted her name, their earlier skepticism replaced by fervent support. This was no longer just a tournament, it was her moment. She stepped off the stage, the weight of her victory settling in. Fans rushed forward, seeking autographs and photos, their admiration palpable. The simple woman, now a legend, handled it with grace, her quiet demeanor unchanged. The mockery had transformed into a legacy. The tournament concluded with her name on everyone's lips, her perfect shots replayed on screens. The simple woman walked away, her dart case in hand, ready for whatever came next. The crowd's applause lingered, a reminder of her incredible rise.